this is take 2. So again, this will be, I'll delete that one anyway. So we're recreating this.
We wanted to try this after seeing this upload.
So this guy, MOBOX Graphics, he recreates a landscape animation he saw. Cinema 4D. I thought this was kind of cool. We could do the same thing. I'll put a link to his tutorial in the description if you want to follow that. So I'm going to give it a go, see if we can get it to work the same. So I'm going to just do a few changes here on the graphic, on the landscape, sorry, landscape. Change the sea level a bit. Okay, just mess around with the seed till we get something we like. I like that. It's different. So I'm gonna display, just make sure I see it. Okay, I'm just gonna convert this to an object. Center the pivot, so it's execute. So now it's scale from there. Add more tags. I can send it across. I'll go into here, go into geometry, import live link, update. There we go, works, nice. So it was bugged out in Cinema. Cinema was bugged out, I don't know why. But we've got the geometry across. Now this looks a bit too rough here, so I could try to go, oh no, it's too late, I've already done it. But you could smoothen it out and then bring it in. I'm going to make a new material for this. I'm going to delete this Cinema 4D node here and just delete that. I'm going to delete this. Yeah, I can delete. I'm going to delete one of the axes. Don't need both. We just need one. So now what we can do is we can scale. You can see already we can do the same thing and scale the Y position. And because we set the pivot point to the bottom, so it allows us to animate this elevation map. So if I'm going to do a few things, I'm going to add a 2D color in the background. I'm going to set this to grey. Not kind of grey. Let's say. Okay, so it's 10, 10, 10s, all 10s, and then so this plane will be 10 as well, so it blends into the background. So get a material. Okay, and we're going to start off with, where is it? Add a texture base. So we've got that, nice. I'm going to go here to the loader and apply the gradient. I'm going to start with this color spectrum. It's nice and easy to use as a starting tool. We're going to change some of the UV mapping properties. So in the UV mapping, we want to say, because we want to map this vertically, the gradient on the object. So what we can do is just go into 3D mapping and then say model space position. And you can see what we've already got is similar, where the gradients now showing like a map elevation almost. I mean, here you've got the gradients you can change here. So now in these settings here, I'm going to change the colors. So I'm going to say, what was it? Was it 22 or 20 or 10? Sorry, 10, 10, 10. I think it was 10, 10, 10. I'm going to change this base color to no light. Yeah. So by changing it to no light, I have no what's it, specular or anything. It's just like a flat color, but it blends in now with the background. What's this? Messages. Oh, promotions. So then in his video he had you can change, you can animate this, so you can animate the actual gradient texture. We can scale it, so everyone could scale it up and down. We can edit the colors here. So he has like an orange to a grey, what's it? Orange to a red. Actually, I might not make. I want to actually see the background a bit better, so maybe I will make this a bit lighter, so that we can actually see the plane. I'm gonna make this like a orangey color here, like an orange, and the yellow I'll turn to like a red. And you can see we already got something that looks very similar. And now you can see when I animate this, and what we can do is animate the position of that texture as well along with this, so they move together. Very simple. So we could start with 0, where it's like that, get a keyframe animation, and we're going to animate the scale of the Y. So if I go here, I'll change it into seconds. I'll set as key, so that's my start frame. And my end frame would be 1, of course. So that 1 is the default scale that of the model. I can just push this back so I can see it better. Okay. So you can see that's already doing what we want. What's this promotion rubbish? Everyone's messaging promotions all day. Okay, so we've got this anyway, and let's take our material, and let's see what we want to animate. So we want to animate maybe the Y position. Let's see. Could do the Y. So could have it animate like that out, or could we animate this? Or we could animate the X of the scale. We got the scaling of the Y, or we could animate the position of the Y. We got 2 options. I kind of like this one because it kind of like looks like it's pushing through. So I might animate the Y scaling on the material, on the actual UV map. So here I'm going to set this to 1. Maybe not. Say 1. Let's say 1.8. 1.8. Okay, so that's the end keyframe for that. And here, I'll set quite high. So it's 8, about 8, and then here will be nothing. There we go. So we get a nice transition there. Now you can change it doesn't matter what side you view it from, you'll see it. There we go. Kind of looks cool. Like that. And now he uses a what's it called? He uses a vertex point to actually follow that, but we won't do the same. I mean, I guess you could put a null. You could have a null in the scene. If you did the animation here, you could have a null here, and then just group your text to that to follow it. I'm just going to keyframe it. But yeah, there's many ways of getting that position. Rather than animating inside Ventuz, you can do it outside and import it in, and just have like an empty node that you could just attach your text to, and then it'll follow it. Text 2D. But definitely follow his video, So we got this. I'm gonna just get an axis. So this one I'm gonna reset everything for the rotation here, position, make sure everything's there. So now it's a bit easier for me. I'm gonna give this a color solid for the text, and I'm gonna change this text to center. No, actually I'm gonna leave it on there. It's fine. I'm just gonna change the position like this. I'm gonna have 2 lines of text. So this one will just be like a title or something, you know. Could be whatever you want. It could be give it whatever you want. I'm just gonna write it, copy and paste landscape elevation map, and then the next one will be just some digits or something. This. An axis, so these two are parented to this, which will keyframe the position of the Y. Like that. Y position, current position there, and here I'm gonna set it down, set key. Really simple. There we go. Can zoom out. Now, if you want, you could billboard that. So when we rotate the text, so you could have billboard. There we go. So now, there we go. So every time this faces the camera, at least the text, it's always there. It will move with the object, so you can see, and then billboard's facing the camera. It's kind of cool. Nice. But yeah, it depends on what you want. You can use the billboard, or you could, if it's fixed, you know, fixed position, then yeah, that's really a design choice, up to you. So we've got this, maybe I have the text right on, so we could just quickly add text effects to this. Text effects. Alpha, and I'll do the same on this one. Okay, I'll make sure these two, move them like a bit to the right. Put them back over here, zoom in. Let's take the progress on those. So let's say here they write on, and here's 0, 0, and perhaps one offset. Like this. There we go. Of course, you could put give this an integer if you want. It could be actually this is floats, make it look a bit more interesting. So we could use a float value. Oh, not a float value, so just a float, not an expression, just a float. Sorry. Just link this text, block text to the float, and we could animate values just to make it look a bit more interesting. So you could say, well, here it's, I don't know, some ridiculous value. Put some zeros in here. There we go, set key. Here I could say 0, set key. Boom. Also on the text itself, what I'll do is always, when I'm animating numbers, using the text, always change it to digits only. It helps with that. And just adjust the character spacing on your digits. There we go. Cool. So hopefully that was kind of useful. Just gonna change that background to the same. There we go. And you can tweak the material until you're happy with the look of it. I mean, it doesn't have to be no light. It could be fong if you want it. It could be up to you. It's really up to you. What make it really glossy. I'll just adjust the background color to match this color here of the base. There we go. In this case, when it goes to 0, we lose the it just becomes black because the way the light's hitting the plane. There's no elevation. Then we start to get it. Let's see if I can change that to like. Let's change the start for this one, 0.1. There we go. So let's say that's our start. There we go. And I might want to change the position of the text, so slightly higher. So it starts higher. There we go. Too fast. There we go. Cool. If you want, you could, add your lighting in there. I'll just use a directional one. This has an effect on the plane. And yeah, shadows. If you want to turn shadows on, you can do that. And cast a shadow. Let's get a nice angle with some shadow in there. There we go. Something like this. Make this bigger so it's easier to see. Perhaps this is some kind of infographic. I don't know. It could be anything. I'm just gonna fix this up. Just moving out that shadow. The specular lighting. You can play around with all the settings you want. You can adjust specular maps to this texture if you wanted, or you can color it. Entirely up to you. If you don't want the orange and the red, you could change that. Go back into your gradient. To change sharpness. Have no specular. Play around with the emissions. You can do all sorts of material. You can play around with everything. I like it with no specular actually. Okay. We could add post effects on top. We've done it many times. And many times. I'm gonna put mask, vintage, default. Oh, this is maybe not mask, sorry. And glare. And boost that. I've got a little bit of kind of glow going on here. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, it's really easy to do. can have more than one color, or you can add another color here. Yeah, but yeah, just try out different stuff, experiment. You know, not everything has to be rendered. You can do it all in real time. If I want, I can just put another axis just of rotation. Oh no, because the pivot's on the main. I've got too many rotations. But yeah. Hopefully it's useful. Some help or something. I don't know. Just looking at UV map. The UV mapping is really powerful on this with all these options. You got so many options, you know. Triplane is really good. 3D mapping, all really good. Just how you use the. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm gonna close this all down. Do not save. Close this down. Bye bye. See you later.